Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time you are watching this video. Yeah, my name is Blessing Akan. Today I bring to you the Nigerian Pilot newspaper, the Punch newspaper, and Al Jazeera newspaper. Like I always tell you, as a citizen of any country, it is very important to keep abreast with recent happening in your country and of course across the world. So today I will be sharing with you some of the headlines I am seeing here in these newspapers because it is very important for us to know. So the first news here from Nigerian Pilot newspaper is Nwamboye declares for speakership of NYP 6th Assembly, unveil blueprint. And again, we have another story here which says telecom tariff NLC planned protest not in public interest. CSO tell Labour. And again, we have another story here which says Congo crisis, African workers call for ceasefire, humanitarian access. Again, we have another story here which says danger of our democracy without vibrant opposition. And again, we have another story here from the Nigerian Pilot newspaper which says, let your recognition by spoil you to greater service. Speaker Abbas tells Kaduna governor. And again, we have another story here which says UNICEF provides over 1,000 tables to 55 schools in Bauchi State. Thank you so much, UNICEF. That's a great one. So we have another story here which says Ninth Nurse Clerk Ogunlana assumes duty. And again, we have another story here which says Delta State begins 2023 to 2024 bursary payment to 32,228 beneficiaries. Again, we have another story here which says 30 burned to death along Ore Lagos Highway. Okay, we move to the Punch newspaper. Yeah, because some of the headlines I am seeing here, like I always tell you, it is worth sharing with you, my lovely people. So big news here from the Punch newspaper is Dangote price slash, marketers with imported fuel losses. Really? And the writer says dealers stay stiff competition forces Dangote refinery price clash to 890 naira per liter. And again, we have another story here from the Punch newspaper which says frozen accounts, First Bank misrepresenting court ruling, says GHL. Again, we have another story here which says NCDC tightens airport surveillance as Uganda battles Ebola. That's a sad one. We pray that they will do something quick in Uganda to reduce the spread of Ebola disease. Again, we have another story here which says, I believe Ladoja has information on Bola Aige's murder, says Akande. That story is on page 8 of the Punch newspaper this morning. And quickly, let's look at what Al Jazeera newspaper have for us this morning. And the big news here is 5.46 billion naira non-oil exports, and agri manufacturing sectors led in 2024 NEPC, and that story is on page 9 of Al Jazeera newspaper this morning. Again, we have another story here which says VC exonerates reps from alleged 418 million naira bribe to pass Varsity's 2025 budget. That story is on page 2 of Al Jazeera newspaper this morning. Again, we have another story here which says Dangote reduces petrol price to 890 naira per liter. Yeah, and that story is on page 14 of Al Jazeera newspaper this morning. Again, we have another one here which says Ogun police arrests cleric for allegedly defiling 12-year-old girl. A lot is happening in this country and it's so sad. Why defiling a young girl of 12 years old? That's a sad one. Again, we have another story here from Al Jazeera newspaper which says health insurance. Albinism Association seeks inclusion of skin cancer. That story is on page 17 of Al Jazeera newspaper this morning. We have another story here which says Nigeria on Ebola alert, says NCDC. And we have another one here which says a support tariff hike for industry sustainability. That story is on page 16 of Al Jazeera newspaper this morning. Again, we have another story here which says the NUJ commends Boni's appointment as Lake Chad Governors Forum chairman. That story is on page 8 of Al Jazeera newspaper this morning. We have another story here which says Ubek NSA collaborates on school safety. That's a good one. And we have another story here which says 3,000 Kaduna pilgrims get 2023 Hajj refunds. That story is on page 2 of Al Jazeera newspaper. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Bye bye.